So yeah, so everybody was influenced by him, and everybody was influenced by him, and that is the one and only Mr. Eddie Van Halen. So it's funny. When I found out Eddie passed away, I was heartbroken, and it's funny because guitar music is very strange. I often say that it makes strange bedfellows. People often wonder, it's like somebody like me who's like sitting up here or sitting here playing jazz guitar. What do I have to do with Eddie Van Halen? Usually, the journey into finding yourself as a instrumentalist or as a guitarist starts with rock. I am a product of the '80s. I grew up playing Van Halen. I mean, really, I grew up listening to Poison, and I mean Eddie Van Halen was just God. I think it goes without saying Hendrix and Van Halen are probably two of the most transformational transformational guitarists around. He was a freaking genius. I wanted to be Eddie Van Halen. I was this kid growing up in Queens. Oh my God, I listened to Diver Down, 5150, Ain't Talking About Love, you name it, every freaking Van Halen. Spanish Fly. When I heard Spanish Fly was one of those songs that it was like Mediterranean Sundance with Paco de Lucia and John McLaughlin, and I forgot who else was on that stuff. It's like I thought this is not possible that somebody can play a guitar like that. This has to be processed, and it's got to be like speeded up. It was like incredible. So it goes without saying we lost a good one yesterday when Eddie passed away. So I mean, I think the influence for me is his originality. And tapping, Eddie Van Halen didn't invent tapping. He made it popular. And I don't want to get into this debate about who did this, who did that. He was just so original. The thing that people don't understand, what makes a guitarist original is at the time that they're actually doing a certain type of technique, no other guitarist is actually doing that. I mean, there are tons and tons of people playing with pedals and fuzz boxes and things like that now. But when Hendrix was using feedback and using a Marshall stack to just make music, other guitarists weren't doing that. When Eddie was tapping, and he was so secretive about his tapping that I heard, or at least I've read, that he would turn around so people couldn't see what the hell he was doing. The guy was a genius. And the thing about it that you kind of think about is that the what I call like the fun facts about Van Halen that blows my mind is that I guess his father was a clarinetist. So he was obviously raised with classical music, and I think he was born in Holland and all this stuff. But the thing about it is like for 3 years he came in first place as a classical pianist. I think it was like from the mid 1960s, like 64 to 66. He came in first place playing the piano. That's crazy. I didn't know that. First time I heard him play the piano, I was like, oh, I didn't even hear him play the piano. It was like the keyboard. But in any event, though, so that's interesting. The other interesting fact for me about Eddie Van Halen is the fact that supposedly he did not know how to read music. Now, I take that one with a grain of salt because his father was a clarinetist, steeped in the European tradition. I've seen videos, I've read things that's like the amazing thing about it was that, hey, he didn't know how to read music and that he just kind of memorized all this stuff. I don't know why guitarists or musicians in general like to say, hey, I don't know how to read music and that makes him more special. Not saying he didn't know how to read music, but assuming he didn't, great for him. But that alone, being able to memorize things and then just pick up a lot of things by ear, that's crazy. The other interesting fact is this guy probably could have gone to MIT or something. He has 3 patents. Okay, I mean he built that Frankenstein guitar because he just couldn't get the sound he wanted out of a Fender or Gibson, so he built that down that Frankenstrat or whatever you want to call it and stuff like that. So there's a very very few guitars that are like that. So the originality, the fact that I think this guy probably could have been a multi-instrumental. He was, I guess, because he started off on the drums, and then apparently Alex was playing the drums, and then he switched to guitar, and everybody knows he can play the keyboards and the piano, so that's that. So he could have picked up the violin, he could have done anything. He was a true musician. Even the fact that he played with Michael Jackson. So that's my era. Prince, Michael Jackson, all those guys. So the thing is, he did that lead on what is it? On Beat It. He did that stuff on one take. One take. That's crazy. And supposedly he didn't even get the initial credit. So I guess all these folks hobnob with each other, and he did it as a favor to Quincy Jones when Van Halen, the other band members weren't around. He just goes in and plugs in and plugged in, and he did that stuff, and that's Eddie. That's a genius, my friend. People will try to write things out. You hear about musicians who write everything out and do stuff. The fact that he tinkered with the instrument so much, and he's got 3 patents, things of that nature. The fact that he can do so many songs, like just like these leads were done like off the cuff. They were not written out or anything like that. That's crazy. The one thing I wish, I wish I had seen more of, and there are maybe 1 or 2 things. I think it's called Angelina. I wish I would have seen Eddie Van Halen play a lot more acoustic guitar, or a lot more solos without anything else. Obviously, he's a great soloist. Everybody knows that. But if I could have a wish, I wish I could see this guy playing just, more acoustic guitar, a classical guitar, more steel string guitar, because whatever was up in that noggin was something that you and I all aspire to. So, hey, we lost a great one, and he affected anybody who ever picked up this instrument. So, all right then. So, God bless everybody. Take care.